Hi guys, I just wanted to jump on here and see if I could offer any help in the confusion with the small business loans from the SBA. There's a lot of confusion about it right now. I know when I went to the bank, they didn't know much about it so far, but we have an optometry practice, and last night we were fortunate enough to attend a webinar by the American Optometric Association where they went over the details and facts about this loan, and it will apply to any business. So I just wanted to come on here and share what we know to see if it will help anybody kind of know which direction to go and get prepared. So I'll tell you what we know. If you have a small business, you can apply as long as you've been in business since February 15th of 2020 and you have less than 500 employees. You can be an S Corp, a C Corp, an LLC, sole proprietor, 1099, 501c3. If you are a 501c6, not yet. How much can you get? Up to 2.5 times the monthly payroll and expenses. And distributions are not considered payroll. And they will not go over $100,000 for a salary. That's their cutoff, just so you know. Are there any costs to getting the loan? No, the fees are not for you to pay. SBA takes care of all that, so no cost for that. And as far as the question of, do I pay this back monthly like any other loan? Well, in some cases, yes. You'll have a 6 to 12 month deferral program before the first payment. That's across the board. And if you can get it forgiven by the rules that I will give you in a minute, you try to get that done obviously before it kicks in the 6 months, and then the whole thing is forgiven, just so there are options. An example would be, let's say your monthly payroll is $100,000, which is kind of a lot. And since you're allowed to have 2.5 times that $100,000, let's say they give you $250,000. So your 2 months of payroll should come out to $200,000. That leaves you $50,000 for rent, utilities, employer health premiums, etc. As a matter of fact, what it's really geared for, just so you know, is the payroll, including the employer, the rent for your office space, equipment leases that you have in place, and utilities. But not more than 25% can go to any of these costs other than payroll. They're strict about that. It's designed to cover your costs for 8 weeks, payroll for sure, and the other expenses I mentioned. The loan forgiveness is determined by this, so it's crucial that you understand that. The deadline for the loan application is June 30th of 2020 at an FDIC approved bank, and there are preferred banks as well, and they really recommend, if you have a relationship with someone, start there, because if your bank that you bank at and have a relationship with is on this preferred list, it will be the easiest, fastest way to do this. Do you need collateral or a personal guarantee for the loan? No, you do not. And I would start preparing now, because the SBA has 30 days to issue the guidance to the banks. But Friday, April 3rd, this Friday, is the first day to apply. So I would get the loan now, because the loan period starts 8 weeks from the day you get your money. And it's 8 weeks of payroll for your staff. And if the pandemic is not gone by then, they're recommending then you can look into unemployment to carry that further. You're to pay your staff normally during the 8 weeks, regardless of how busy you are, because the loan forgiveness partly depends on paying them in full for the 8 weeks. That's what it's geared for. They have a look back period that they look at. You have a choice of February 15th through June 30th of 2019, or January 1st through February 29th of 2020. If you select the 2020, for instance, let's say you had 22 full-time employees and you lost 10% of those employees. So the loan forgiveness is then going to be reduced by 10%. So again, if you borrowed the $250,000, you now have to owe back $25,000 of it. And that will be set up as a 10-year loan at about up to 4% interest. The documents that you want to start gathering so that you can kind of jump on this and be ready is your monthly payroll report for the past 12 months, your business tax returns for the past 3 years, your personal financial statement, which I believe will be part of the application, a profit and loss statement, presumably for the 2 months of look back that you choose, and then record of your rent, utilities, equipment, etc. So the time frame to spend the money to get the forgiveness is 8 weeks, again, from the day you get the money forward. Any money that is spent after the 8 weeks is not forgiven. So you just want to keep your employees, full-time for 8 weeks. The whole idea is we just want to keep everyone afloat, keep our employees from having to be laid off and, struggling any worse than they are with having to deal with all of this. So it really could be a good saving grace. And this is just a few of the facts and tips that I hope would help get you kind of thinking about the dates and what you need to do to prepare. There is a website they also gave us, which is naggl.org. And if you go on there, you will see a sample application. And you will also see some more question and answers on there that you can get information from. And I'm no expert at all, but I just wanted to share this with you. And if you have questions and you want to reach out, I'll use whatever resources I have to try to get more answers and help you, because it is very confusing. But this could really be helpful for those of us trying to stay afloat in this time. So I hope that helps. Thank you. Talk to you later.